Hello guys, welcome back to Indie Gamer X. Hope you're all doing great. Stay safe wherever you are. And if you have not subscribed to the channel and if you're watching my video for the first time, please like and subscribe to the channel. That'll be a great help for me. So again, we are flying Microsoft Flight Simulator today. And we'll be flying from Cairo, Egypt to Dubai International. So let's set the flight plan. So we'll be flying from gate number 8, which is a heavy gate, and we'll be landing 30R in Dubai, runway 30R, and our flight is going to be an IFR flight, high altitude. And in Cairo we'll be departing using Cairo 1D departure, and in Dubai we'll be using the ViewTech approach. So as you can see, we'll be taking off from Cairo, straight, take a left and then straight on to Dubai, flying over Saudi, near to Bahrain, Qatar, and then landing in Dubai. It's quite a good approach, and we are going to be flying our A320neo fly-by-wire today. And let's select the livery is going to be Emirates, and the customization will be flying flight number 135. And our flight conditions are going to be, I love flying into Dubai at night. So let's leave Egypt in the evening and then land in Dubai at night. So the scenery is going to be really beautiful. So we are set. Weather will be live. Let's go back, and now without further ado, let's fly. Guys, so we are in Cairo at the moment. As you can see, we are parked on the tarmac on gate number 8, and Cairo is a beautiful airport, and it's quite detailed in Microsoft Flight Simulator, unlike many of the regional airports. This is a very well portrayed airport in my opinion, and if you go near our aircraft, it has a wildlife theme on its livery. As you can see, United for Wildlife. Yep, it's very important that we keep our wildlife safe from poachers and stuff. So please, whatever you can do to protect our wildlife, please do it from your side. Okay, so let's start our flight. First of all, let's set up our cockpit. You can see our pushback tug is waiting for our confirmation, and the jetway is also there. So first of all, we need to turn off our AI communication. I don't want to jump across AI taking over all the communication at the beginning and then we catching up to prepare the aircraft. So let's do it manually. So first of all, let's go to our overhead panel and turn on our batteries. So the battery master is on. We have external power, so turn it on. External power on. Good. So we have aircraft air conditioning on. And let's turn on crew oxygen supply. Let's turn on navigation lights and beacon lights. Let's do a fire test for the APU first. Fire test done, complete. Now moving on to APU master switch on, and also APU starter on. In the meantime, while we are waiting for APU availability, let's turn on our emergency lights, arm it, and also turn our seat belts and no smoking signs on. We can also set our dome light to dim, and we can also set our IRS ADIRS navigation system on. So first wait for IR1, IR2 and IR3. It will take some time for the aircraft to align the GPS. If you go down here, you can see IRS alignment is going to be completed in 7 minutes. Until then, we will not have any maps on our screens here. In the meantime, let's increase the brightness of our screens. This is the backup altimeter, altitude, attitude finder. Then we have the PFD screens. Let's increase the brightness as well. And here we have the eCam display brightness to adjust. Done. Also, let's do our co-pilot screens as well. Poor guy or poor girl. Alright, now here we have our flight director display brightness and the panel backlighting as well. So our lights are all set. We have a couple of more lights to set that we'll do later. So the APU is available, so we can put APU bleed on and turn off external power. So external power is off. Let's turn on the fuel pumps. Also set our aircraft air conditioning temperature. It's a hot day in Cairo and you don't want passengers to feel stuffy inside the airplane, so let's turn up the decrease the temperature inside the cabin as well. Okay, so now that we have our first setup done, first set of switches set up, let's check electric pump on. Okay, fine. Engine pump is on. Electric pump is let's turn on the electric hydraulic pump. This one is on. It's fine. We can make a call, cabin call to the crew. So now we are running on APU, and we can go back to our screen and increase our brightness for our floodlights and also our integrated lighting for the throttle quadrant. Here we have a floodlight for the pedestal. Increase that a bit. TCAS on standby. Traffic should be all, and ATC on standby as well at the moment. Then we have here our predictive wind shear. We should not turn it on now. We will wait for it later. We can turn it on later. So radar also we'll turn on later. It's already set in WX, which is a weather mode, which is fine. It already set in WX plus T mode, which is good. Now let's go back to our flight computer. Let's go to our flight plan, check everything is entered properly. Okay, now we have to do some entries here. So our maximum flight level is gonna be, I think, 39,000 feet. That's the maximum we have. So let's go to data, check everything is check everything is okay. Go to the next page. Cool. Then go to the init page. Cost index you can enter 100. It's quite okay. Cruise flight will be 39,000 feet we'll be flying at. So cruise flight level will be flight level 390. This is all entered. Let's go to the next screen to check. The screen, so we have to enter this information, which we can enter later. At the moment we don't want to enter that because the weight is not accurate, because we have not gotten fuel yet. So let's do one thing. In the meantime, let's first get IFR clearance.
Ground Emirates 135 IFR to Dubai, ready to copy. Emirates 135 is cleared to Dubai Airport as filed. Take off runway 23 center climb and maintain 14,000 feet. Departure frequency is 119.35 squawk 75.
So departure 14,000 feet. Initial climb altitude 14,000 feet. These are all fine. We can turn on the flight director on. Squawk would be 7563. So let's squawk our transponder.
Emirates 135, did you hear my last transmission?
Acknowledge the transmission.
Emirates 135 cleared
7563.
to Dubai Airport as
7563.
well. Take off runway 23 center climb and maintain 14,000 feet.
7563.
Departure on 119.35 squawk 75.
Identify. So our transponder is set.
Emirates 135, read back correct. Contact ground on 120.1.
Our IRS is aligned. So we can go to ground services and ask for jetway,
Ground Emirates
catering,
135,
baggage and fuel.
jetway to the aircraft. Emirates 135, the jetway is going to be connected. Ground Emirates 135, could you please send me?
Okay, so now we have the fuel option. We'll increase quantity in our central tank. We'll try to keep the balance same. So good. So we have 42% in our central fuel tank and the rest in our outer tanks, on the wing tanks. Our payload is going to be around 60%, 65%. Cool. So our total takeoff weight is 156,000 pounds. Sorry, 174,000 pounds maximum. Total would be 156,000 pounds. Payload is going to be 32,613. Okay, cool. So let's go back. Our fueling is done. Let's go back to the cockpit. Let's request before that, let's work on the flight computer a bit. Okay, so now that we have our fuel fueled up, let's go to IRS and check if it's aligned. So our all three GPS systems are aligned. Go back, go to the next page. So here we have to enter our zero fuel weight and zero fuel weight center of gravity, which if you click on the button it will automatically populate. Click once more to enter it there. So the block fuel which we have now is 15.2. so we put 15.2 and click enter here. So that's it on this page. Now let's go to performance page. Now we can click on, we can calculate our V1, VR and V2. Click on V1 138, click once more to enter it. VR or rotating speed would be 139 and V2 would be 143. So that is also entered. You can go to the next page. There's no next page here. Go to the MCDU menu. What we can do is we can request for weather now. So go to ATSU AOC menu and click on weather request. So the weather type would be METAR and our two airports would be selected here, and click send. So this will send a message to the company and the company will message us back with a weather report. So it will come here inside received messages. So you can just on the screen see a new company message has arrived just now. So that means we have a new message. Click on it. There's a new message, METAR report, and then click on it. You can read it either or you can print it. I will print it. The good thing with this A320 fly-by-wire is that it has an integrated printer. As you can see, the weather report is getting printed here. Click on it and it will come sit on your throttle quadrant, which is always easy to read. So this has this says that your altimeter pressure, barometric pressure in Cairo is Q1013, which is which you have to enter here. So this is if you click on QNH, then you can read that it's already 1013, so there's no need to change it. If you turn it to HPM mode, then it will be 2992, which is barometric pressure. But in Dubai, it's going to be 1003. So when we reach Dubai, unless we get confirmation from our ATC in Dubai that the pressure is XYZ, then we can enter that. So for the time being, we are good to go with 2992. And here also you can see it's 2992. Whenever you change your pressure settings, you need to you need to change it here as well, because this is your backup altimeter. Okay, so we have our parking brake on, TCAS is on standby, APU is in bleed mode. Fine. So now what we need to do, let's check our transponder. So we need to change our transponder from standby to auto. ATC TCAS on standby, anti-skid is off, on, actually flight director ILS off. Okay, so just double checking if everything is entered properly. Let's go to init. This is all looking good. Performance. Okay, we need to enter our flap settings. So For runway 23C, today's takeoff, we are gonna put flaps 2. So enter it here, flaps 2, and also flex to temperature. You don't really need to enter it, but you can put something like a 72 or something. It's fine. Okay, so here you have the ECAM display, and on this ECAM display you can view your flight parameters. So if you want to see the engine display, you can click on engine, then fuel parameters, pressure, electronics and electricals, hydraulic systems, which doesn't show up, fuel, APU settings, air conditioning. So we have in cockpit 23 degrees, forward cabin 23 degrees, and aft cabin 23 degrees, which is okay. Then we have our cabin door open. Our wheels are normal braking, and the flight controls. So just checking the flight controls: forward, backward, left, right, and your checking your ailerons as well. The flight control seems good. Sorry, when I said this, it's not an aileron, it's a rudder. So our rudders are also working fine. This is good. Now what we have to do, we can go to our overhead panel, and give a cabin crew call. Seatbelt sign is on, no smoking is on, beacon is on, and we can actually put no slide to taxi now. And we can also put pitot window heat to make sure that it's heated up windows and pitot tubes. We don't need anti-ice for any other parts of it, so just keep the probe and window on. So that's it for the time being. We are ready to push back, so let's disconnect the jetway.
Ground Emirates 135, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
So we are clear of the jetway, and we can now request pushback.
Ground Emirates 135 requesting pushback. Emirates 135 pushback request accepted.
Before pushback, we need to go inside and turn off our parking brake. And let's put our flaps to 2, which is our takeoff position, and let's also arm our speed brakes. And here we'll set our auto brakes to max for rejected takeoff, and also our anti-skid should be on. So let's get ready for pushback. Now we can ask them to push to the left.
Ground Emirates 135 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left. Emirates 135, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Actually, I think we should have pushed back to the right. It's okay, we can let them continue to take the full circle, and then we can ask them to stop, because the runway is over there. So there is a runway. So we can ask them to stop now.
Ground Emirates 135 requesting the end of pushback. Emirates 135 request to end pushback received.
Okay, now go back to our cockpit. Let's turn on the strobe lights. Now let's request a taxi.
Ground Emirates 135 with Sierra ready to taxi IFR. Emirates 135 taxi to and hold short of runway 23 center via taxiway Sierra Tango. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready.
So let's taxi now. Before taxi, one thing you should do without fail is to start your engines, guys. Sorry, I forgot. Okay, so we can now start our engines. So first turn the engine mode selector to ignition, and then turn on both engines.
Emirates 135, please acknowledge. Taxiing hold short runway 23 center using taxiway Sierra Tango Emirates 135.
So both our engines are spooling up. Let them reach full, let them spool up fully and then stabilize, and then we can start our engines. I mean, then we can taxi. So our engines have stabilized. You can see here engines are not the engine speeds are not increasing, so that means the engine have stabilized. Now what we can do is we can disconnect our APU. So turn off the APU and APU master, and now we can taxi. Yeah.
Emirates 135, continue taxi.
We were holding position because of that small truck. Now we can continue our taxi. Just look right and left, just like your mama told you while crossing the road.
Did you copy?
So now let's do one thing. Let's hand over all the radio communication to our
Roger, Emirates 135.
AI co-pilot. Let her handle all the fuss. beautiful airport, and very well detailed as well. Like I said earlier, I love it. I love flying out from Egypt. I love Egypt in general. It's a beautiful place to visit. The kind of history they have, and you know, it has so much of wealth in its history and in its heritage. It's such a beautiful place, and the people are really nice as well. Especially if you go to interior parts of Egypt, they are very welcoming, great people. Is a highway starting from the runway itself? I mean, you can see cars going left and right like anything. What is happening? See, I think the highway is merging up with the runway. Not the runway, but the taxiway. Weird. So while we are taxiing, we can turn on our takeoff configuration checklist on. So let's check what else is pending. Very good. So all set. Let's call our cabin once more. It's a beautiful airplane, the A320neo. I love it. There's so many of them in existence. It's like crazy that one single airplane can be, you know, this dominant. I believe they're gonna cancel the older versions of A320 and only do the fly-by-wire version from now on. So I think the last A320s, the normal ones without fly-by-wire, are under production, and they're gonna end the assembly line of those very soon. So there won't be any new A320s, normal ones out there, new ones. It's all gonna be the fly-by-wire which we are flying today. Okay, so we are at the runway heading.
Cairo Tower, Emirates,
Yep.
135 at runway 23 center.
Now we
Ready
need
for
to
departure IFR to Dubai.
taxi lights to take off, landing lights on.
Emirates 135 altimeter, 29 decimal.
We can also turn our weather radar on,
Runway 23 center.
then ATC on,
Cleared for takeoff runway.
TCAS
23
to
center, Emirates,
TA and
135.
RA, TCAS traffic to all, and that's it, guys. One more thing, which is the predictive windshield to auto. Set that, and our checklist is complete. So we are ready to go. So we'll be taking off the runway heading, and then turning left, and then again another left heading to Dubai. So let's go. we are reaching 140. 138 was our takeoff speed, so now we can lift off. Great, good lift off, positive climb, gear up.
Emirates 135 contact Cairo Center on 119.35. 119.35 Emirates 135. Cairo Center Emirates 135 is passing 1,600 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
Emirates 135 Cairo Center altimeter 29er decimal 88 continuous planned.
So we are turning left. Flaps reduce. Flaps one more. Okay, flaps retracted. I think we can see our the pyramids of Giza from here somewhere. I saw it last time when I was flying. It's somewhere over here.
Emirates 135 climb and maintain 16,000 feet.
Okay, anyways, so we are on our path to Dubai. So we need to climb to 16,000 now. $16,000 feet. So now that we are climbing at 5,000, we can turn off our landing lights. So retract our landing lights. Taxi light off, runway light off. And turn off our ground spoilers as well. So we are all set. Looks beautiful, by the way, Egypt. If you look at the way the ground has been depicted in the game, it's amazing. I mean, beautiful. Such a beautiful place. So our auto throttle is right now in climbing mode. Okay, now that we have passed 10,000 feet, we need to set our barometric pressure to standard. So just pull on the stick and then it becomes standard. When you're about to land below 10,000 feet, again you have to set your pressure to manual readings, whatever it is. So if you look at our map, so we just took off from Egypt, Cairo, and then we are now passing going to Giza, which is our first waypoint, which is quite a long way to go. And then we have many waypoints to traverse before reaching Dubai. So stay tuned. I'll just come back in a jiffy with another section of the flight in the same video. Don't go away. Keep watching.
Please expedite your climb 16,000 feet. Emirates 135 climb and maintain flight level 270.
Climb and maintain flight level 270 Emirates 135.
Guys, now we are cruising at 39,000 feet. Beautiful view of the desert below. The night looks fantastic. We have the sun setting behind us, and I'm not sure why the tail light is not on, the logo light, but seems to be some issue. Maybe it needs a bulb change or something. Who knows? So yeah, going back to our cockpit. Let me reduce the brightness a bit. Too bright. Okay. Yep, that looks beautiful. Now it's a beautiful night. We are actually, we are not that far. We still have a long way to go. We are just reaching Bosal waypoint. From there we have Labat, Nimar, Dedgin, Jinon, then a lot of other waypoints before we reach Dubai. It is quite funny to see how many airports there are near to the water, you know. If you can see at the top, there's like a pearl necklace of airports, and then here also a lot of airports along the coast, and then here as well. This region is very heavily populated with airports. Very nice, interesting as well. So let me check what constraints we have. We don't have any constraints right now. As you can see, this is 5 nautical miles, and then there is 7.5 nautical miles. That's this is 10 nautical miles, our arc. And now if you put it to 20, then it becomes 10, 15, 20 nautical miles, the arc distance, which is showing. If you put it to 60, we have 40, 60. This is actually 80, not 60. 40, 60, 80. But anyways, what I was saying is that we have a long way to go. So we are cruising at 39,000 feet and at 260 knots. One thing I noticed with Microsoft Flight Simulator is that there are no shooting stars in the sky. I mean, for a sky this clear, with so many stars, we should be able to see at least one shooting star, you know, but there are none. This is strange. We have the, what are these, Orion's belt, right? You can see that here. That view is stunning. Just trying to align it perfectly. Okay, let's going back to the cockpit. Let's turn off the seatbelt sign so people can walk around. Okay, so I'll stop here and see you after we move a bit farther. There's a long way to go. See you. Hi guys, so now we are flying over Spark waypoint on the way to Dubai. We are almost about to reach Dubai. You can see other flights coming in and out of Dubai, and one thing I want to show you, look at the moon. It's so red. And it looks like another planet instead of a moon. Quite weird. It looks beautiful. So there is another flight going above us in the opposite direction. Let's check the map. So what we see here is now Qatar on the right side. So this landmass is Qatar. And on to our left, what we are seeing is I think Iran, probably. That's a beautiful sight to see. Yeah. So very soon we'll be entering our descent phase. If we change probably let me check the map. The map I'm assuming after Nalpo we'll get the descent command from the ATC. Now the moon has risen. Wow. That's a beautiful sight. It looks like Mars or something, you know. Doesn't look like a moon. Beautiful indeed. Beautiful. So I'll come back when we have the descent. Now we can see the Dubai landmass, the United Arab Emirates in front of us, and we have gotten the descent instruction from the ATC. So we are descending to 25,000 feet.
Emirates 135, please expedite your descent flight level 250.
And you can see the constraints over here. So at Wutabe you're supposed to be 195,000 feet, Lovok 175, DB 529 154,000 feet, Patid 136,000 feet, and that extends all the way up to landing. So we reduce. So by Wutabe you should be 195,000 feet. We won't be 195,000 feet, but still it's fine. But this is why you can see the constraints. If you turn on this switch CSTR, you can see the height constraints and other airport constraints, speed, etc. on the screen. Our speed is on the higher side. We should be below 230 right now, but it's autopilot has selected 290. Which you can see here. So the managed speed by autopilot for the descent is 289 knots. Let me see if we can we cannot change that. That's a problem. So we'll switch back to auto speed just to make sure that we are descending. So 27,000 feet and descending. We can increase increase the vertical speed. In this case, decrease the vertical speed by probably to around 24,000 feet per minute. So you can see the Sharjah airport in front of you. I believe it's Sharjah airport. Dubai should be on the right side.
Emirates 135 descend and maintain 13,000.
So we have now 13,000 feet, which we will descend to.
Maintain 13,000.
So this is Dubai airport.
135.
If you look at the map, we are now going in between Dubai and Sharjah airport and then turning back and landing. Let's try reducing the speed. To 220 knots. Then we stopped descending. This is the problem. I'm not sure what the bug is. We are not able to control the descent of the aircraft while controlling the speed at the same time. So beautiful view of Dubai. Very beautiful evening in Dubai at the moment. You can see the Palm Islands on the right of the aircraft, and then Burj Khalifa is also there. And here you have the World Islands, where I believe Michael Jackson also bought one island. I believe England he bought. So those are the World Islands, and these are the Palm Islands. Let's go back into the cockpit. Okay, so we are descending, but the speed is still on the higher side. We are at 140,000 feet. Sorry, 14,000 feet. Let's put our seatbelt sign on. So here, as per the plan, we should be at 9,150 feet, but we are at 13,000 feet, so it's a bit high. Normally the constraints should be followed, but here the ATC is not wanting us to follow the constraints, which is quite strange. So let me reduce the speed to around 190. We haven't gotten the approach clearance. Not sure why.
Emirates 135 descend and maintain
Okay.
3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 185 knots. Emirates 135.
So again, I think we need to manually set
Emirates 135. Contact approach on 122.5.
okay,
Going to
let's see.
122.5 Emirates 135. Approach Emirates 135 is passing 11,800 feet, descending 3,000 feet. Emirates 135 approach altimeter 29.59er. Continue to DB 507 as planned. Emirates 135 contact Emirates Center on 124.85. Going to 124.85 Emirates 135. Emirates Center Emirates 135 is at 9,800 feet, descending 3,000 feet. Emirates 135 Emirates Center altimeter 29.59er. Continue to DB 506 as planned.
Okay, so we are turning right to contact the runway heading. Beautiful scenery of Dubai below. Actually, this is how from the aircraft it looks when you are landing.
Emirates 135 contact approach on 122.5.
So we are below 10,000 feet, so we can put the barometric pressure to 902.
For Emirates 135. Approach Emirates 135 is passing 6,700 feet, descending 3,000 feet. Emirates 135 approach altimeter 29.59er. Continue to DB 505 as planned.
So we can prepare our cabin for landing. Call the crew. Then what we can do is we can arm our auto spoilers. Then flaps we can put into one. It is showing overspeed because we are at 320 and we put one flaps, but it should help us slow down. and we can turn on LS mode, then also LOC mode.
Emirates 135, you are 24 miles southeast. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 30 right approach via Dolman transition. Cleared to Dolman.
So now we have got the approach clearance. So ILS runway 30R. Okay, cleared. Emirates 135. Very good. So now we are intercepting the runway heading. Because we were at a higher speed, I think we couldn't take the turn properly. So now you can see runway 30R. I believe 30R. Yeah, 30 right. Reducing the speed to 160. Put 160, engage, and also increase the flaps to 2. You can actually put 3 also since it's 160. So here we just need to enter our barometric pressure, which is 2992. 2992. Enter here. Temperature 35. Okay. So now we are aligning towards the right runway. We still don't have the localizer seen. I'm not sure why. Let's put in approach mode.
Tower on 119.05 Emirates 135. Dubai Tower Emirates 135 14 miles southeast inbound ILS runway 30 right approach. Emirates 135 Dubai Tower. Altimeter.
So now we have our light, navigation light. Not sure how it got turned on.
Sky Dubai 712 exit runway with naval.
That's strange.
Dubai Tower Emirates 135 inbound ILS.
This is a view I love the most. I mean, you can see all the details.
135 Dubai Tower. Altimeter 29.59 wind 319 at 15. Cleared ILS runway 30 right approach. Cleared ILS runway 30 right approach Emirates 135.
So let's put auto brake to low.
Sky Dubai 712 turn next taxiway.
Put flaps 3.
Dubai Tower Emirates.
Let's see what is our landing speed. So our approach speed is 136 and landing speed is 131. So landing configuration, flaps full. Let's put flaps to full.
Dubai Tower.
Let's reduce our speed to 135 or 133. How much was the approach speed? 136. Okay, let's put to 135.
Cleared ILS runway 30 right approach Emirates 641.
We still cannot see the localizers and the approach markers, but I think it's not showing, but still it's there.
Sky Dubai 712 exit runway with naval.
Normally you can see the horizontal and vertical localizers and the glide scope, glide slope while you are in approach mode, but here I cannot see that.
Emirates 135, wind 009er at 17. Clear to land runway 30 right.
That road ends nowhere. I mean, it should go and connect to this main road, right? But I don't know, it's so random. That's our ground spoilers. Sorry, our ground landing gear. Our landing gear is down. Beautiful view of Dubai. This looks fantastic. This is the ambience which I was talking about earlier, right? You know, not many cities you get this color. It's fantastic. Still no localizer markers, which is quite weird. Let's reduce the speed to 130, 131.
$500.
Emirates 641, follow the Airbus E20N on final. Wind 329er at 15.
400.
Caution the
So we'll cut off the autopilot quite late.
Clear to land runway 30 right.
300.
Normally you do it at 1000 feet, but I'm gonna keep it till 200 or 100.
Clear to land runway 30 right, Emirates 641.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard. 10. 5.
Butter landing. Nice landing. So you can see the Burj Khalifa.
Emirates 135, turn next taxiway.
So we'll turn this taxiway. Let's turn off our speed brakes.
Emirates 641, go around. Going around Emirates 641.
What happened? Is there a parking brake on?
Emirates 135, turn next
How did it happen?
taxiway. Emirates
Oh,
641,
probably I must have by mistake
025.
pressed it. So let's follow the markers and then we have to turn left to the taxiway. Yeah.
126.025 Emirates 641. Emirates 135, contact ground on 121.65. 121.65, Emirates 135. Dubai ground Emirates 135, request taxi to the gate.
Emirates 135 taxi to gate Alpha 1 using taxiway Kilo 2 Kilo Zulu Whiskey Zulu Juliet 2.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 1 via taxiway Kilo 2 Kilo Zulu Whiskey Zulu Juliet.
So our gate is Alpha 1, which is A1. So we'll taxi to A1, gate number A1. So normally what we do is when you are on the ground, the moment you reach the gates, you turn off your engine and then turn on the APU, so that there is no accidents or anything due to engines running on the ground. But I'm not going to do that. I'll just turn off the aircraft, and then from there we can see what happens. This view is beautiful. So let's do one thing. Let's turn the taxi lights on and turn off the landing lights. Sorry. Oh. So we have our gate A1. You can see the guy, the marshal, standing on the ground and giving a signal to move forward. So let's move forward. I don't want to disappoint him.
Dubai ground area, the Niner 15 request taxi to the gate.
There is an Air India leaving.
Air India Niner 15
Oh no, incoming. He just landed behind us. Okay, so we are done. Let's put the parking brake on. We go inside the cockpit. Now you can see that the parking brake is on. Flaps are up. All the FD switches are off. Then we can turn the APU bleed off. And also switch to external power, turn the battery master off, switch off all the lights. I'm not gonna do the jetway right now because I don't wanna make the video any longer. So for the sake of time, We are going to switch off everything, every light. No smoking sign, seat belt off. Dome light off. And turn off the battery. External power off. And then also shut down our engines. Done. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so till now. I want to post more videos, but then there's a shortage of time with the way work is happening, so that's why there are not many videos coming. But I'll try to make it up, and then more videos are gonna come very soon. And I focus mostly on English and Malayalam content, so if you want something, please do let me know. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any suggestions, please put down in the comment below. Thank you for joining. Take care, stay safe. Ciao, bye bye.